Hello, today I have a review of the Blu-ray and DVD Fast 5 Extended Edition. I prefer to call it the NOS-filled edition, whatever you prefer. It's an extremely long edition of 1 minute, and if you notice it, you probably have better luck than I did. Because I saw it in the theater, and I don't know that I noticed any 1 minute added. It's like 1 second at a time, maybe. And let's go over the packaging first. I usually don't care for these cardboards that much, but the way they did this, you got that nice big picture there, and it's real shiny. And then the case has this smaller, like they did all the other Blu-rays. So I do kind of like that bigger picture on there. And then you open it up, you just got your DVD. Your DVD and digital copy are together on one disc. And then you got your Blu-ray, which somehow contains both the regular and extended editions. Somehow. They managed. And so this is the new thing I'm going to try. Just give you the specs real quick. The Blu-ray is obviously 1080p. And it's in 2.35 anamorphic widescreen. And this has DTS 5.1 English and French, but only 2.0 Spanish. I'm not sure why this is only 5.1. You'd think it would be 7.1, but okay. And your runtime on this movie is 2 hours and 11 minutes for the theatrical version, or 2 hours and 12 minutes for the extended edition. So, cast of this movie is huge. They brought back a whole lot of characters, even some that were dead somehow. I'm not sure how that worked. Basically, you're going to have, obviously, Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Jordan Brewster, Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris, Matt Schultz, Sung Kang, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, of course, making his first appearance in a Fast 5 movie, or Fast and the Furious movie. And so, let's go over the basic plot. I can't remember what happens in the previous movie. I'm not gonna be honest with you. I don't remember exactly all that. But Dom gets sent to prison, and they decide to break him out, and so they kind of split up. And Dom goes on his own, and Mia and Kevin, or I can't think of his name. Brian go off together because they're in a relationship, and they meet up in Brazil, where I can't think of what the guy's name was, but he was one of the partners in the first one. They meet up with him, and then they make a plan to steal some cars, and things kind of go wrong, and they get involved with drug dealers, and then The Rock is pretty much chasing them because he's sent to arrest them all, and he's like part of some elite task force. And yeah, so that's the basic plot. They end up gonna do a huge robbery thing. I won't go too far into it, so you can still watch it. Now let's just talk about the visual quality. The Blu-ray is like amazing, looks amazing, and pretty much everything you could hope for. The DVD. A lot of times, if you put a DVD in a good TV and a good Blu-ray, you'll say, well, what's the difference between this and a Blu-ray? Because you'll just think, well, this looks good. What's the difference? That's what I really kind of like. I can compare the Blu-ray and DVD at the same time. And the DVD does look really nice. But the one thing is you're going to notice with the DVD is it's not as clear. A lot of the action stuff is going to look kind of mucky, and it's the Blu-ray is better in every way, but that's going to be the biggest difference you're going to notice is a lot of blurriness and kind of like pixelation almost. I don't know what they call it. And so then we'll go ahead and talk about the special features. Now, I do have one complaint, big complaint about the special features. There are a ton, way too many for this kind of movie. Let me see how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think there's about 12 different special features, and I'll just go over them real quick. There's enter Agent Hobbs, and that's just kind of behind the scenes with The Rock, because his name is Agent Hobbs. So that's just behind the scenes with him. Tyrese TV, that's just behind the scenes with Tyrese Gibson. Inside the Vault Heist, that's just talking about the chase, kind of how they did all the special effects and how they made everything work. And it was that one was one that was very interesting and was really cool to watch. Deleted scenes, there were 2 of them, and one was literally about 5 seconds. And I don't even remember what the other one was. They weren't worth watching. Gag reel is, obviously gag reel. It was mostly just people screwing up their lines and forgetting lines. It wasn't like a lot of practical jokes or anything like that. They had the big train heist. It was more in depth on the train heist, special effects, how they filmed it, how they made everything work. That one was really interesting too. I kind of like those behind the scenes on how they film stuff though. New Set of Wheels was just talking about all the car choices, how now in this movie they went more into the nicer cars and less of the street racers, muscle cars, exotic cars, fancier stuff, and not just like, a $20,000 car you put another $20,000 into or whatever, more like in the first and second one. Then they had Dom's Journey, which just kind of talked about the development of the Dom character from the first movie through this one. And that was, I don't know, that was alright, not that great. And then they had From Federal Agent to Convict, which was pretty much the same thing, Brian's progression through all the movies. Another thing, if you've seen the movies, you don't need someone to tell you about it. And then, they had the Dom versus Hobbs behind the scenes, which was just talking about the fight scene between The Rock and Vin Diesel, which was kind of interesting, but I think they blew it up too big for the not the actual fight, but the special feature. It was too long. And last one, On the Set with Justin Lin. That was the director of the movie, and it just showed this one scene where he was just going like into detail on directing a scene and kind of how he works. It was kind of interesting to see how the director kind of does his thing. And so overall though, I'm gonna give this movie a score of only 3. Now I think this was a good movie. It was one of the better Fast and the Furious movies, and I feel like they've kind of matured. In the first movie, they did like a lot. They didn't know what they were doing as well, and they would like just repeat the same things and just didn't know what they were talking about. I feel like in this movie they've evolved enough to where they just are. It's a movie. You don't have to just throw in all these words that you don't even know what they are. But I would say the thing that brought this movie down the most for me personally was the complete lack of street racing. Now, maybe if it didn't fit in the movie, you could say, okay, this movie doesn't fit street racing, we're not going to have street racing. But at one point in the movie, they're like, we need more cars. So they go to where all the street racers are, and they go there to race, and then they just cut away, and then they just show them bringing the cars home, and it's like, what? Is this Fast and the Furious, or what? Give me some street racing. So that brought the movie down a lot for me. But thanks for watching, and let me know what you think of the movie.